Okay, so we've just arrived to Daikoku following Alan in his hachiroku, and it actually seems to be quite a decent turnout, being Saturday of course. So I think to get things going, I'm just going to do a little walk around to get an idea of the cars that have showed up here today. Considering it's this busy and it's Saturday, there's a very good chance it's going to get shut down. But in the meantime, I'm just going to walk around, take a closer look. So the cool thing about Daikoku at night is that it's a totally different vibe to what we saw before when I dropped by here on Sunday morning. It's more younger guys. It's definitely what's happening in the tuning scene. More you get to see what people are doing with these cars. So yeah, it's definitely a very interesting mix. Definitely more Japanese compared to what we saw on Sunday morning. I just found this amazingly clean Nissan Primera with an Infinity badge, obviously trying to go for the USDM look. And check out the wheels on this thing, old school ABS Yokohama's. It's got a bright seat, brido should I say. Oh man, super sick. So I think one of the coolest things that I'm looking forward to be doing with this channel is to document me bringing the product GTR back on the street. It's currently sitting outside my house waiting for some TLC and a few parts to get it finished and shack-inned and back on the road again. Anyway, I think it's about time we make a move before the police actually come and tell us to our face to get out. We'll go and find a quiet place to do a bit of a spotlight feature on Alan's hachiroku, get some driving shots, and then hit up Shibuya. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed Daikoku at night. Very different feel, kind of noisy, but always cool, never disappoints. We had to escape Daikoku because obviously the police shut it down, as you guys saw. We're here with Alan. So Alan is a longtime friend of mine. He's got a really cool car that he's had for, how many years have you had this?
Since September 2007.
So a fair bit. And can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, how did you come to find it? Because you actually bought it sort of ready, modified, ready, prepared, and then you kind of perfected it in your own way kind of thing.
Yeah, so what happened was I was friends with not only you, but Miguel, New Era Imports.
Yeah.
That particular Thursday Tokyo auction was actually on my birthday that year. And then this came across auction and he bought it. And then he said, actually, it's better suited for me. I ended up buying this one off him after I had that white Terreno before. From him.
And I actually remember picking this car up from Miguel in 2007.
You did.
And taking it to Ibisu. Did I take it to Ibisu that time?
You took it to Ibisu, Fukushima.
And then I drifted at Minami, and then you came to my place and you picked it up. So that was the first time that you actually saw it, which is kind of bizarre. But the whole thing was basically I was picking a car up from Miguel to show the cars that he kind of bought, and I featured it and used it in some store, in some magazine, I forget which one.
It was a French magazine.
French magazine, there you go. So, and since then, obviously you've done a lot of work with it, and you're still kind of finishing up some details.
Just got busy with life, as it is with family life.
Absolutely.
Changed the engine, rebuilt it all, different specifications, the drivetrain, except for the transmission. Yeah. So the differential, but I try to keep most of it close to stock as possible, not to push the power too much because I want longevity.
Yeah.
And especially with the parts getting hard to find. Never broken an axle, and the gearbox is still a 250, but the engine the compression is 12.8 to 1.
Yeah.
With Formula Atlantic Pistons from CP Pistons, because just at that time I was working at Tomei, but they didn't have any pistons in stock for a while because they were prioritizing RB26 and SR20s. I didn't want to wait 8 months, so I gave up.
Yeah, but it's a cool piston kit to kind of run in an engine like this.
Cross forged too.
Yeah.
So everything was custom.
And you mentioned you worked for Tomei, so tell us a little bit about that, because this has some very special Tomei parts.
Yeah,
you
it does.
Yeah.
So what happened was I moved to Japan in 2005 for high octane racing. So I was working with them, and they were a distributor for Tomei for Australia. At that time, I was translating some stuff for Tomei while I was working at high octane racing, because they didn't have anything in English, and I just wanted to make stuff available so that it would make it easier to explain. But they wanted me to join them. I didn't. Eventually, later in 2007, things changed, and then I joined them. Right. So I was with them from 2007 to 2014 full time.
Yeah.
The cam gears are the
Can we actually open
one.
so we can take a look at the engine?
Those cam gears are the very first production model, so a bit dirty.
I have the same Tomei pulleys on my GTR.
Yeah, and then later they released the production range.
Yeah.
The camshafts, one is custom, and the founder's brother, who designs every single camshaft, was nearing retirement, so he designed one. With the laser markings, I actually made my own laser marking for these that has his name on it.
Sick.
So these camshafts have his name laser engraved onto them.
That's crazy.
Just kind of respect, because they started in 1968.
Yeah.
Family-run business. They used to do everything for Nissan back in the day until Nismo was founded in 1984.
A lot of sunny stuff. You can still see those crazy sunny race cars at Nismo Festival every year.
So when I rebuilt the engine, I had like a different one. I changed the cylinder head to a AE92 head. It was it had the first generation head on there before when you drove it.
Yeah.
And then I was just porting it every lunch break slowly, and I just got.
So wait, you ported your own?
I did it.
Head.
So Tahara-san, who did the A series engine, he and another one just taught me how they do it, and then I just slowly over 4 months, bit by bit, because I didn't want to mess it up. It was all by hand, because they didn't have any CNC machines.
No, I remember I actually shot many times at Tomei, and part of the whole thing was to go into the engine build room, and they had a little bench where the guy would be like polishing with a
I was
little
in there my lunch breaks doing
air tool, right? Like
whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, I did it that way.
That's cool. And what have you done on the intake here? You got some 101, is it?
Yeah, 101s with the TECARTS 100mm trumpets. I got rid of the brake booster because I didn't want to shave trumpet number 4.
Yeah. And you did put the car on a dyno at some point?
They bought a dyno dynamics of all-wheel drive at Tomei, so it was mapped on that dyno.
Oh, nice. And ECU-wise, what are you running?
Haltech Platinum Sport 1000 with the custom loomed as well.
Nice. You've just changed the rear wheels on this, haven't you?
Yeah, I bought a whole set for the car, but they're 15-inch on the rear. I was going to put it on the front. I just didn't choose the tires yet for the front.
So this is the new design, Watanabe's, and as a comparison.
Yeah, that one, I went to Watanabe factory, and they told me when they took that off, just to have a look at it, it's the Showa 62 manufactured wheels.
So this is what, like a 1980?
87, 88,
87,
around that
88.
time, where the rear wheels is last year.
And you've gone staggered setup here, as I see.
Yeah, because I had 14-inch all around.
Yeah.
Right now it's just 14 at the front and 15 at the back until I buy tires for the other set of wheels I got.
And speaking on tires, so you have Niovas at the front?
Yeah, Niovas.
195s, and then at the back you went with Shibata tires.
Shibata's picked up and gained a lot of popularity.
Yeah, I've been actually seeing a lot of cars run these tires here in Japan, especially drifters. So Shibata is after the owner of R31 House, Shibata-san. And when he launched his D1 program, what, 4 or 5 years ago now,
About that.
he decided to also do his own tires, and this is what they look like.
They're super popular with the AE86s now.
They're very affordable, they do well for grip and drift, so they're becoming more and more popular.
I'd say they're probably around the $70, $80 US dollar mark per
Right.
tire, which makes sense. And they give you different options on the compound grade as well.
Yeah. Haltech sticker. Oh, speaking of stickers, so I think I gave Alan this sticker probably in 2008, right? When I first joined Speed
2008.
Hunters.
Yeah, still got it.
Crazy. And this is there for life. That's not coming off, is it?
No, it's not. I thought about removing it to upgrade it, but to a newer one, but
Yeah.
decided to leave it.
No, keep it. Vintage stuff is the best.
Car's pretty vintage, like the owner.
Oh, you got a Pro Drive steering wheel now.
Yeah,
Nice.
the Pro Drive steering wheel was there for since 2015 or 16.
And
because
you
Daigo had it.
you primarily use this car for, obviously, for fun nights like today, but mainly for drifting. It's set up, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I don't get to take it out as often because I'm always busy.
Yeah.
The other fact about the steering wheel, I only knew 2 people that had it. Daigo was one of them, and then the other one was Bo Yates in Australia.
Oh, boy, Yates with
Yeah.
with a crazy 86 that was half built at Hypertree, right?
Yes, that one. Oh no, he had it on the other one, on the his Pro Drift card, not the AE86. the
Oh,
other
right,
one.
the other one, okay.
Yeah. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, no one's really running that. I didn't want to be another nerdy steering wheel owner on a
Yeah, yeah.
86.
Oh, it's nice to see something different, obviously.
You've gotten
seats.
rid of the rear, no rear seats here, but you do have a big sound system.
I do.
An 86 with a sound system. I can just imagine the comments below here saying, how has this guy got like a heavy speaker subwoofer setup?
Okay, so some of you guys may know this car that had a GT wing back in the day. That's how it came from
Yeah,
the
that's right.
auctions. It actually had a massive sound system with 4 subwoofers, 2 amps. I took it all out because it was too heavy with a wood.
Was it like a
setup.
demo car for
It was like a demo car, yeah. That's why it has this funky paint job as well.
Yeah.
I took off that GT wing, removed all the sound system because there were some wiring issues with that as well.
Yeah.
And it had no audio until August last year. When I was driving to Yamanashi, I had another American friend who was driving with me, and he called me, kept calling me, and I couldn't answer
Yeah.
my phone when I was driving, so I got fed up, and I thought maybe
Time to get
time to
something, yeah.
update it
Makes sense.
so I won't have an accident. So now it's all Bluetooth.
Modernized
the subwoofer, the rear speakers are velcroed in, so I could just remove it when I take it to the track.
Oh, nice.
Actually, the Velcro is data center grade.
And plans for next mods, and what do you plan to do in the next year or two to get it where you want it to be?
I always thought I had a target, but the goal keeps shifting.
I know
right?
it's a silly question, but you know, I mean, I guess
The
what's the
look of
next
it-
couple of mods that you're kind of looking forward to do?
Change the front wheels,
Get
change
the
the
front
tire
wheels.
setup. I'll keep these for like track days, and
Yeah.
then the other one is more for aesthetics for street.
Yeah.
I'll change the seats as well. Probably that's it for now.
You're thinking of also doing the paint? Maybe?
Yeah, I wanted to do the paint as well.
Just
Still thinking
respray it.
about that.
Get it nice and clean. Although I have to say it's held up pretty well for, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
close to 15 years over actually.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to believe that time flies, right?
I know, it's crazy. And, you know, I'm pretty much getting to the point that, you know, family duties, you know, kids grow up quick, and it's about time that I do my GTR now. So
Yeah.
that's going to be another big part of the YouTube channel, to kind of show me bringing it back to, I don't have Shaken, so I have to re-register it. And,
This one didn't have it for a while. I only just got Shaken last year.
well, there you go. But cool, man. I mean, I really appreciate you telling us all the cool stories behind the car.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll go out driving together. Me in the
Definitely.
GTR, and you with this, I call it the pink Hachi, but you know, he doesn't like me calling it pink. You guys tell me, what color do you think this is?
And it's got some sparkle to it. You can really see it under the
Yeah.
parking lights here.
So we're at Suzuki parking area, the brightest spot we could find tonight.
Has a good melody through the tunnels, doesn't it?
Oh man, yeah. We'll get some footage of you racing through tunnels and cool highways in
Not
Yokohama.
racing. Just
Yeah.
spirited driving.
Revving it. Well, thanks again, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you taking the time. And hope you guys enjoyed this episode on a cool legendary car from Japan.